Hi, I'm Keven LeBlanc, running for Herndon Town Council, and I want to address kind of one of the big topics, housing in Herndon. So I think that this is a very complicated issue and one that deserves a lot more than what I can do in a short video. It goes beyond, I don't have access to all of the information that a town council member or a city planner would have at this point in time. So I certainly pledge that I will review more and continue to learn more and work with county and the town to constantly keep this in mind. So housing, first off, Herndon is pretty much an already developed community. It has been here for a long time. And the council really only can influence the town of Herndon, so the 4 square miles that constitutes the town, not the greater postal code of Herndon, which is really where the development, for the most part, is occurring. You do have we have our downtown development, we have our metro development coming. So I support mixed use and housing in those, and making housing or having percentages that are more affordable for people in different stages of life or different income levels. I think that the housing question really begs a conversation around the definitions that are used and bandied about in public discourse or in political debates. So you hear people use the term all the time, affordable housing. So what is the definition of affordable housing? What is worker housing? And then, so for me, if I'm going to follow, and I've researched this is kind of what the definition is that I have found. So affordable housing is housing is affordable to the average person. So the median income for the area, which is pretty high in this area, 30% of that family unit's budget is what is considered affordable to put towards housing. So that's the expected amount out of your average household or median household income level to be put towards housing. So that's affordable housing. It is not the 8A housing or the subsidized housing for poor and low income families. So when I talk about that, I'm going to talk about subsidized or low income housing. And then the one in between is worker housing. So such that city municipal workers, police force, teachers, those that work in our communities that we want to live here can live here. So what is affordable for them based on the average salaries and income that our town and community pays for people in those professions. So I think that you do need a mix of all of them, but one of the big issues is that we really don't have a lot of place to develop additional, say, low-income housing. We are working at the corner of Eldon Street and Herndon Parkway, so the Residence Inn is being converted to multi-tenant low-income housing. I support that. Certainly we saw, and it was really critical that the community stepped up. So the old Days Inn near there, during COVID, when so many people who maybe weren't homeless before have lost their jobs, and the homelessness problem increased. So they opened their doors and it became a homeless shelter during the COVID timeframe. So things like that, where the community can come together and really support people who have fallen on difficult times or who have just moved to the area. Certainly when we were supporting the Afghan refugees and taking them in, I think, we need to do things that provide dignity and respect to everyone, because we can all fall on bad luck. I do support it. However, I think that it's very difficult in the town of Herndon to provide more, but I will continue to support and look for ways, especially when we look at worker housing. Now, when I look at the metrics, so very specifically, I pulled data, both commercial, so rental properties, as well as owned homes or condos and things like that. So if we look at our surrounding communities, so Ruston, Chantilly, larger postal code Herndon, so on the other side of the toll road, from the town of Herndon. Even the 3 zip codes that are in kind of Sterling Cascades area. Great Falls, which is also part of Drainesville District that Herndon's a part of in Fairfax County. We actually have more affordable worker housing than any of those areas. And in each of those areas, and our rent is lower as well. So we are more affordable, whether you're looking for an apartment, a condo, single family dwellings, larger homes. We have accommodated that in the town of Herndon, so to speak. And we also have the most growth of that planned than any of those communities. So as we look to new apartment complexes, things that are being done with the metro development, in surrounding area, there are more affordable housing units being developed at price points that people can afford, at least for our area. It's no getting around the fact that our area has a high cost of living. It is the DC metro area. Fairfax County is a wealthy county that with Amazon and other companies that have coming in that have high-tech jobs. They have a high-tech workforce that tend to make more on the overall salary spectrum. So, excuse me, we definitely have to keep a balance, and that's something that I'm going to look for when I'm on town council. I think that when we work with developers, we need to put things in our RFPs that really ask them to look at workforce housing and how do we maintain a balance of things and what they can do to contribute to that. Thank you.